My Gen Zers, talk to me real quick. Are you guys sick and tired of older generations just spitting nonsense towards you, whether it's work, personal, family, or whatever the nonsense is? You ever just get sick of that? I'm here to tell you guys that there's somebody in JJK who is amongst the younger generation. He's only 28 years old, and that man has dealt with a lot of annoying higher generation problems that he's trying to keep away from his lower generation friends, right? And students. So, point I'm trying to get at here is Gojo. Gojo, and his mindset to not allow the higher ups to disrupt the way the new school, the new style of JJK's younger generation are handling business, right? I'm talking about Hikari, Yuta, Yuji, Megami, Todo, Toge, Maki. Like, we can keep it going on and on and on of all the new, fresh talent that is coming throughout JJK's Jujutsu High. Whether it's Kyoto or Tokyo, it doesn't matter. There's so much potential and talent that's coming through as Jujutsu sorcerers at such a young age. And the higher-ups, they want to put, oh, well, Yuta has a crazy power that we've never seen before. Why is this kid with Rika so freaking powerful? You know what? Execution order. Let's just put an execution order on him. And then we got Yuji. Oh, we've never seen somebody be able to control Sukuna before. We've never seen somebody be able to stop Sukuna from incarnating completely. Execution order, because I don't know what's gonna happen. No, bro. What you have upon you is a special grade in Yuta, who has a vast inventory of tools, weapons, and cursed abilities, because he can copy anything. He's literally a walking inventory for any army, whether it's techniques or tools. Why don't you get that through your head? And then with Yuji, you have Yuji, who has now tamed the most powerful being that's ever existed after Gojo. And then Hikari. What are we doing? Why are we suspending a freaking third year in Jujutsu High, in Tokyo Jujutsu High? Why are we suspending a third year? Because he likes to gamble when he has the highest regeneration with his Idol Death Gamble domain expansion that's ever existed. Why are we doing that? Because he gambles? What are we doing? What we have is a prodigy with RCT, because he just does it in his domain. Why don't we have him become a teacher and teach about domain expansions and how you're able to manipulate them to benefit you so thoroughly, the way that Hikari has managed with Idol Death Gamble? There's no reason that Hikari is able to basically hit a jackpot whenever he wants because of the way that he sets up his domain. The probability of him hitting a jackpot is insanely high when you really break down the math. It's ridiculous to me that we're sitting here and allowing the higher ups to just ruin all this potential, all this talent, all this raw talent that's coming through their door. And Hikari doesn't even come from a sorcerer family. Todo doesn't come from a sorcerer family, and he made grade 1 before he didn't even fucking graduate. Let's be real here. Oh my god, man. Yuta comes from a sorcerer family. However, Yuta has more cursed energy than Gojo. He has a little bit less than half of what Sukuna has, because Sukuna has been stated by Yuta to have twice, if not more, cursed energy than Yuta has. So Yuta could basically give us the best idea of where Sukuna's cursed energy is at. The point I'm trying to make here is Gojo sick and tired of higher-ups ruining the younger generation. And that's what the point of this video is we're going to talk about how Gojo feels about everything in Jujutsu High and the Jujutsu Society. So, guys, here comes Gojo's mindset. Do me a favor real quick before we get even further into this, because basically I'm already diving into it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys, please, to help my mindset. And hit the noti bell. But let's go ahead and keep talking about this. So, like Gojo, right? Gojo had a best friend. His name was Geto. Geto was his anchor to keeping a sane mind, right? To not letting him get egotistical. Gojo lost Geto in friendship because Geto decided to go off on his own path, and then he lost Geto because he had to off him because Geto came in between him and his students. And Gojo loves the younger generation of his students. Gojo loves the younger generation so much that he doesn't play sports because he would be the best at it, and he doesn't do it for the younger generation so that they have opportunities. So that this is the first thing I want to hit is the fact that Gojo, a depressed man because he lost his best friend, is still riding this hard for what he believes in. He believes in a society where the younger generations can thrive without the suppression of the higher ups. So that is point one I'm trying to make here, is that a depressed man is going this far to accomplish his goal. Second point I'm trying to make here is that the higher ups aren't benefiting from the method that they're trying to do this. They're playing it safe in a sense. They're trying to weed out the things that they don't know about and expect themselves to know everything about jiu-jitsu society. Like, you're not going to sit here and tell me that you don't know about Toji Fushiguro, and then when Maki comes in your door, you're not thinking to yourself, that could be the next Toji. We should probably get her to, like us. She already hates the Zenin family. We should probably get her to like us then. Why are we not trying to help her accomplish 100% of heavily restriction? What are we doing? Why are we treating her as a grade 4 sorcerer? Why are we allowing the Zenin family to even get in the way of her promotion? That's more money in her pocket. What are we doing? It doesn't make sense. And this is why I agree with Gojo when it comes down to all this. So now we have a depressed man who is still writing for his students. We have the higher ups who don't make sense in the playing it safe card that they're trying to do by eliminating new things and keeping it to the same old, right? Third step, Gojo calling them out and saying the fact that you have talent that can't be specified as special grade anymore, because special grade is a grade that came out because when cursed spirits came out or cursed sorcerers came out that are just so much more powerful than grade 1, hey, you have a special grade. They're very far and few in between. But this year, you have seen more special grade curses than ever. And on top of that, another special grade sorcerer came out in Yuta. So you're telling me that special grade is still a thing? Why are we sitting here caring about if you're special grade or not? Because grade 1 is cool, but special grade at this point isn't so special. Sorry to break it to you. You got the disaster curses. You got freaking all the curses that Geto had. You had Geto. I'm pretty sure in the movie Geto said that there's 13 or 14 registered special grade curses, not to mention the 4 disaster curses there. So now you have almost in the 20s. It's like, are they really special at this point? I get that Geto had like 1,000 to 2,000 cursed spirits in his inventory, so 20 doesn't seem like that much, but still 20 special grade curses, which could tank basically the entire Jiu-Jitsu society, seems very common at this point. So Gojo's whole point was Todo, Hikari, Yuta, Tsunobi Megami, Tsunobi Yuji. You can't sit here and expect them to just be kept in the realms of special grade. Sorry, bud, but that's not the case. These guys are working to get to the point where they're able to box Sukuna or to be at the same level as Gojo, and Gojo wants that for them. He wants them to all to surpass him. He told Yuji, get stronger than Jogo. Jogo's probably the strongest disaster curse in the group, if not 100%. And he's probably past, like, let's see, Sukuna, Rika, Jogo? I mean, unless I'm blanking on someone, I think Jogo's next. I don't really count Maharaga because he's a Shikigami. He's not a cursed spirit. Like, he's a Shikigami that is imbued using cursed energy into a shadow. So, I mean, if you count Maharaga, cool, then I would probably say Sukuna. Maharaga or Rika is tied for those two. I'm gonna do a video about which one's stronger, but in my head they're just tied for right now, and then Jogo. So yeah, like that's what I'm trying to get at. Is point 3 is that Gojo understands that his students are stronger than what they're being classified as by these higher ups, because I'm gonna do a video explaining to you what the classification of these students should be, what their grades should be. not what the higher ups put it as. Because these higher ups are pissing me off with the grades that they're giving these students, because they are not paying attention. They can't be. They can't be. And the fact that I get it. Trust me, I get it. The fact that your teacher cannot request a promotion upon your behalf, so Gojo had to go pay Mei in order to request a promotion for all his students. I get it. That makes sense in my head, because then Gojo cares about his students like family. He would ask for them to get promoted right away. But here's the thing, though. Gojo makes sense in doing that because they're that strong. How many special grade curses did Megami or Yuji defeat in season 1 alone? What are we talking about here? Megami beat a special grade by himself. Yuji beat a special grade by himself. Nobaru beat a special grade by herself. And then in the prison, like when they were fighting in the prison, I get it. They didn't beat that special grade by themselves, but they fought it. Yuji at least did. He survived. He didn't die in one impact. Gotta say something about his durability when he didn't even know what cursed energy was at that point, really. But like, even if you don't want to give him that, it doesn't matter. By the end of season 1, they beat special grades. And oh my god, in the Goodwill event versus Hanami. What are we doing? All the students fought against Hanami. None of them died. But guess what? Todo and Yuji were going to exercise Hanami by themselves. Realistically. I mean, it would have been awesome to see the domain expansion and see if she actually could have pulled it off. But I don't know, man. Those are my 3 points so far. Let's run them back. Number 1, Gojo's a depressed man that still has the will to, make things happen for his students. That's the Gojo mindset right now, is no matter what, push through for those students. Number 2, acknowledge the fact that the higher ups don't know what they're doing. They're the problem. Number 3, acknowledge the fact that what the solution is acknowledging these students and bringing them up to a new level. So Gojo, in his condition, identified a problem, offered a solution to the problem, even if it was in a, cocky attitude way type thing, but doesn't matter. And then the last thing I really want to mention is the fact that after it was all said and done, after the higher-ups were dealt with, after Gojo and Sukuna had their battle, and after Gojo's students pulled up to the battlefield, we had, clarity. Gojo was understood by Sukuna, somebody who sat at the pinnacle of Jujutsu, and nobody could touch him. Sukuna was the only man to understand him and was able to identify with him where he was at in that mindset, because Sukuna loves Jujutsu. So if you're able to make it better and it bring more people with amazing talent to the table, he loves that. So Gojo really, the two of them really, just came together at the end. And then Sukuna got to see all of Gojo's hard work become fruitful, basically. You had Yuji, you had Higurama, you had Maki, Yuta, Hikari, Kashimo. Even though he wasn't one of Gojo's students, Kashimo came up to the table. He was just a nice, cherry on the top of the pie. And then you had Todo come up, and even Chozo was there, and even Yui. I forgot how you say his name. Mei's brother. I forgot how you say his name. He was there. Kukasabi was there. Miguel was there. Everybody Gojo's touched in his life, that he was able to spread his passion for jiu-jitsu, and the younger generation, everybody Gojo was able to spread his love for this for his students. They all pulled up, and Sukuna was able to fight all of them, and he had a blast. Sukuna's having fun because he understands that Gojo was right. This younger generation is different. It's different than the older generation. It's different than the way that you do things safely. It's different from all that. They can do things in a creative manner where you don't have to be held down by the restrictions that the older generations had, because their minds weren't as open to things. They were more closed-minded. They were more narrow focused. They did not see things the way that the younger generation does, where you have multiple avenues to go through in order to succeed. And all of his students proved that. Maki with heavily restriction. You have Yuji being able to do almost everything in JJK. You have Megami being able to be the master of 10 shadows and being able to have a strategic mind in the battlefield. Todo, who has one of the most versatile techniques in all of JJK. Then you have people like Hikari, who's able to just sit there and spam one technique and make it that he's immortal. For 4 minutes and 11 seconds, that man is immortal. You're telling me that that's not a prize student? Why was he suspended? And then Yuta, to top it all off, we have the prodigy, Yuta himself, who at the end of the day was able to copy even Kenjaku's ability. My God, man, what are we doing here? This is what I mean, is the Gojo mindset is the right mindset to have. No matter through what you're battling through, if you keep that passion that you're going to do something and make it happen, you're going to succeed and you're going to touch the hearts of others, guess what, bud? Your legacy, your everything is going to be passed on. Don't care about what the higher ups say. Yes, they went through things in their generation. I get that. I totally get that. I understand why they want to play it safe. I understand they went through things that were different and they've seen times change and they have experience. I get that. But here's the thing. Just because you have experience does not mean that my experience is diminished or it should be frowned upon by any means necessary. The experience I go through is valued, especially to me, because I'm the one going through it. You can't live my life. And that's how his students are. Nobody could have lived the Zenin life other than Maki or freaking Toji when he was going through it. He went through the same thing Maki went through. Like, you don't live their lives. And Gojo obviously did not live their lives, but he's trying to understand it and give them a better chance now with the path they've chosen. Because ultimately, they chose to help people. At the end of the day, you're choosing to help people. So that's my 2 cents on it. That's where I think Gojo's mindset was with everything in JJK and where I've seen him go. I mean, like, ultimately, Gojo had a hard life. It was sad. I mean, like, growing up, obviously, he was the prodigy of the Gojo clan, so, like, everything was given to him. But, like, once he was an adult and he had all these people to look after because they all looked up to him. And that's a sad thing, too, man. Like, you have all these students that you love and they look up to you, but at the end of the day, you're the strongest, and you know that there's a gap between you and your students and everybody around you, so everybody looks at you as the strongest. At the end of the day, you're a weapon, and you're always viewed as a weapon. So Gojo, even though he loved them so much and fought for them to be understood, he knew ultimately he would never be understood, and it showed all the way up to the end, right? The only person who really got to him was Sukuna, and Yuta tried his hardest. He was probably the second closest, right? He knew he didn't understand him, and he acknowledged that and wanted to understand them. And then others wanted to pursue that. But Sukuna really was the one that understood where he was coming from as the strongest. So if you guys like the video, do me the favor of actually hitting the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, guys. I appreciate those who have, and I appreciate those who will. All right. You guys keep liking the content and hit the noti bell, and let me know if there's any videos that you guys want me to cover in the future. All right, see you guys.